I'm a 22-year-old and I still like kids. Sorry, I mean I still act like kids. Okay, so for example, like I'd still be going out and playing in the rain when everyone else is just under a shed or shelter or something. And yeah, it's just like these kid type of activities, like playing in the rain and running here and there on a hangout and like pooping my pants. Okay, okay, just kidding. That last one was a lie. All right, and another thing was a lie, which was that I'm a 22-year-old. It was just for the joke. I'm actually 16. So even though if I do like kids, it'll still be legal. Yeah. And I mean kids my age, obviously. By the way, you might be wondering, and I have thought about this one time too, that putting up Minecraft in the background on a video about kids is sure not a recommended decision. Actually, you know what? After all these things that I've just described, I think it's not just me, and that deep down we all are fucking kids. I mean, not in the pedo way, actually. I was gonna put up a Trump thumbnail with the title, Deep Down We All Are Fucking Kids. But it sounded like the average clickbait you find on the hub, so I dropped the idea. Why the clickbait though, you ask? Because we all know Donald Trump is out there, the last ill to have a kid in his heart. I mean, how could he even still have a kid in his heart when all the kids he has is in his stomach and intestines? So, I was just saying, I'm not a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein. Give me some water or some. But, what is such a big difference in an adult and a kid at heart? What is the difference? What is it about? So basically, we all were kids at some point, right? And when I say kids, you look at a kid and he's happy, all right? You're happy and shit. You have seen it. Puff Diddy in his childhood, happy and shit. Okay, just kidding. That wasn't a good one, but you know what I mean. Kid as we define it, a normal kid as we define it, happy and shit. He's playing and he doesn't have a girlfriend and he's still happy. And he's playing and he doesn't masturbate and he's still happy. And he's playing and he masturbates and he's still happy because he is in the present moment. And that is what matters, right? And so the one trait you can see in a kid is that they don't overthink shit. And they are playful. And to be defined even more is just the aliveness. Being a kid at heart means that you still have that aliveness in you that many adults have dulled out. And we all were kids at some point, right? But why then it comes to the point that they turn into adults and they become more bitter and more selfish? Because most adults are like that. Look at your parents, look at your teachers. I don't mean every single buddy, but there are many of the adults like that. And the reason that happens is because as they grow up, they have to face society head to head, and they get responsibilities. And slowly their kids starts to die. They stop hanging out with friends anymore, and they are into this job, and especially in this age, the hyper-productive society that we do live in even promotes it to any extent that it could. And so yeah, that's basically how they turn into such adults. What I am pointing at for all this time is that even though we do have responsibilities and all, even after all that, I think we should still stay intact with our inner kids. And that is why even if I turn into an adult, I've promised myself to never let the inner child inside me die. Actually, I'm still gonna wear diapers and shit even when I'm like 27 years old. Okay, just kidding. But ultimately what I want to say is that kids are happy. And I could have named this entire bit or this video that, okay, kids are happy. I could have named it that, but I instead named it Kids Are Gay. Because gay also means happy, but it was purely a marketing decision. So to be a kid at your heart, I guess you gotta let that kid version of yourself out. That real version of yourself out, which is probably suppressed for a long time right now. And yeah, you just gotta let it out, I guess, without overthinking it at all. Like, kids don't overthink. If they wanna say hi, they just say hi, alright? And you know what? I get it, alright, I get it. If you just go to your crush and just say hi without peeing your pants up, that's not real, right? That's just fictional stuff. When you actually go to your crush and you are just going to be like,
I just wanted to say that I just wanted to say that your nose hair is really pretty, and I just noticed your filtrum hair is so good. Actually, I just wanted to tell you that, okay? And I'm 6'6" on a good day, by the way.
this dude, motherfucker, this dude is 5'7" on a slightly better than a good day. And you know what? It's fine to be embarrassed. It's natural as well, and it's totally. I just totally get it. Okay, it's fine. But sometimes you just gotta level up your game. I mean, not in that way. I mean, sometimes you just gotta stop all that thinking and just go for it. And yeah, for practice, you could actually go ahead and talk to kids because they are not going to judge you. Okay, maybe that's not such a good idea, but and people keep saying grow up, grow up. And I'm just like, man, have you even seen adults? They pay bills and call it a fucking hobby. So even if it might be hard, let's all try, despite all the responsibilities that we get, let's all try to still stay kids at our hearts. And yeah, so we are not letting our kids die, alright? No abortions allowed, alright? Okay, I could rephrase that. I mean, our inner kids, alright? You know what? A lot of us hate kids. I get it, these little motherfuckers got no responsibilities and shit, but there's a difference between somebody who's a kid at heart as still being an adult and somebody who's just straight up childish. There's a difference right there. And if somebody is a kid at heart, they still have responsibilities and they do it, and they stay kids at their heart, being themselves, and they still have that aliveness, and they just still try to live and have fun whenever they can, right? But the childish, on the other hand, is kind of like avoiding responsibilities and just throwing tantrums all day, I guess. But yeah, so if someone tells you that you're acting like a kid, you smile, alright? But if they say that you're childish, then you gotta go, what did you say, bitch? And they won't even know the difference. That's the magic part about it. Not all adults, though. When I'm going to be turning into an adult, and maybe many of you, when we are going to be turning into adults, we are still going to be staying kids at heart, alright? Am I right? And kids are playful. Being a kid at heart goes a long way, because that's pretty much the essence of life, right? The playfulness. And trying to get that playfulness whenever you get to enjoy the present, you do. And yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, I guess sometimes you need to be acting like a kid. Not acting, is just letting that kid that was already in you out. Not talking about pregnancy, I'm just talking about that inner kid. Alright, so yeah, I guess sometimes you need that, and sometimes you need to be more alive, more yourself, more of a kid, because at your core, you are still that kid.